how easy is it for a predator to just slide in and send a DM and lure away this child out of from where they are with the funds? Right now, we are having so much pressure when it comes to the economy. We don't have money. There's all these complaints about fuel. But this parent has to choose between having this child in school. We work around menstrual health, having this child buying pads basically for this child, having a second meal for this child, or even choosing between this child attending school or not attending school. So no matter how much you want to blame that high-level government up there, we still have a mandate as a community, as a civil society, to see what else can we do.
Hi everyone, my name is Rachael Mwikali and I'm so excited to be joined by a comrade from another space who is going to take us through about the internet, children's on the street, and then also children's rights in Kenya. Welcome, Nancy, and introduce yourself fully and what you do.
Thank you so much. My name is Nteere. I'm the manager for 100% for the children. I just joined in recently, but I'm excited to be here. What we do at 100%, we are basically living a promise. When we say 100% for the children, is basically going with the children step by step, right from when they're in school, looking through their communities, looking through their health, and looking at how they perform later on in life. So that's why we say 100%, not a slice of 100%, not 80%, but 100%. So that's what we do, and we work around health, we work around education, we work around child protection. But the main agenda or the main denominator is working with the community at large, just to make sure that all the children are accommodated in the community.
Amazing. So if you look geographically in the areas that you are working, which areas are you working? Is it only in Nairobi informal settlements, or you work across the country?
So we work across the country, but it's important for me to say that it's a Kenyan-Danish organization. So initially, it used to work from Denmark, whereby they get the funding and then they give that to the downstream partners in Kenya. Then last year, around January, they registered now officially as an NGO. So before we registered as an NGO, we used to work in Mombasa and Nairobi. But right now, we are also working in the same two areas, but mostly in informal settlements, as you've rightfully said, and just trying to see how far we can go in other counties. Maybe Kiambu, we are looking at Kiambu, we are looking at Kisumu. But currently, we have Nairobi and Kilifi County.
So currently in Kenya, we are seeing a lot of cases of children missing, killing of young girls, and these are like big issues even within the human rights sector. So from your own perspective, what are the statistics or numbers, or what is causing all this violation?
Yeah, thank you for that. And normally what I say, it's not that the children are missing, it's basically we are missing systems in this country. And we have assigned a role to the government to take care of our children. And yet we should start taking care of the children right from home. So you'll find, for example, how many of us have the helpline for the child line 116 on our phones. So a child can go missing in the morning, but they're reported maybe at 4 p.m. That means in between there was no action that was taken. We are trusting more now WhatsApps to send messages than even in the police. So it's areas where we need to strengthen some of the things. When I say that, it's when a parent goes to work. We have two working parents, for example, where they go to work and then they expect the child from school come and maybe make a phone call. So we are trusting technology more than we are trusting our own systems within the household. So the missing children are, as a result, I would say it's from the missing systems that we have in the community. We rely heavily on government. I've said that before, but also as a community, we need to look out for the children. There's no way a child will go missing with an adult around. That is a responsible adult. For the case of the recent case of the Githurai girl, the out-of-school 15-year-old girl who actually lured a 2-year-old out. That means this is a gap that she saw, that there is no one who looks around for this small girl, the 2-year-old. So it was very easy for her to lure this child around out of the household. So there are cases where right now the statistics stand at 23,000 children missing per day. And that will be, in 2 days, that will be a whole classroom.
That's a big number.
That's a very big number.
Yeah.
And that's a result of, again, us being not very careful. Who is this child in my neighborhood? Because we all live in an estate. Ideally, you should know who is that child. If you know who is that child, it's very easy for you to know who is the mother of that child, who is the uncle, so that in case this child is lured away, we are aware. And again, I would like to bring technology into all this. Recently, I heard that in TikTok, 93,000 accounts which belonged to Kenyan children were locked out. And these are children who are below 13 years.
That's 93,000
accounts for children who are less than 13 years were closed. And that means our young children from maybe 4 to that 12, maybe 4 to 12 years have access to TikTok.
Yeah.
How easy is it for a predator to just slide in and send a DM and lure away this child out of from where they are with the phones? So we are also trusting a phone to have more power, where we give a child a phone with no supervision, with nothing to monitor what they are using the phone on, to just disappear. We have cases which I'm sure you've seen on the media. We have the Kenya High girl who disappeared for almost 3 weeks. We have no idea what happened. Chances are very high she was lured away. So how are we as a system, as a Kenyan, as a community, how are we protecting all these conversations around missing children? So that, again, child protection is not a department. Child protection is with us, and we have power around it. Yeah.
Wow, these numbers are shocking. 93,000.
Yes. So
and
all
they're
of
less
them,
than
they
13
were
years.
closed down. Yes, and they were all Kenyan. So that shows you, even if they have 1 or 3 accounts, that still shows you they have access to TikTok. That means we have no control of what the predators are doing. I'll give you a very recent example. I have a daughter who just opened an Instagram account, and she was showing me how easy it is. Right now, she's 15 years, and it was very easy for her to open an Instagram. And she showed me, I'm opening an Instagram account, and in 2 days' time, she had 33 followers, and she had not posted anything. That, like, anything could have happened. Someone would have slipped in, sent a message, and she would have disappeared. So it's very easy. As much as we want to blame the government and say poverty and say children are getting lost, but even us as parents, as the community, we need to be a bit vigilant in doing that.
Because for me also, like, trying to unpack from the level of also not, we have to ensure, like, for example, we pay taxes.
Yes.
The state has first and primary mandate to ensure everybody is safe. It's also like a matter of peace, security, and safety.
Yes.
Because I'm trying to look for parents who are living in formal settlement, who also have been raised and living.
Yes.
In the sense that because of structural violence, a lot of parents also, not that I'm excusing for parents.
Yes.
You have a primary mandate to ensure that you provide for your children.
Yes.
Because of also systematic issue, it has prevented a parent even spending, and the economic justice issue, like spending more time with their children. So to what level do we put in pressure to the government to ensure even there's accountability of these already missing children, where else we're not seeing them, putting measures in place to ensure that there's prevention of them getting missing? Instead, they're blaming the parents.
So for me, I'll speak from the community, because I'm not very much in politics. I basically work with this child in Kibera, I work with this child in Madare, and I work with this parent. And when I normally say a child's dream, because my work is around children, so a child's dream, she may have a dream at night, but by breakfast time, the dream is gone because of what she's seeing around her. The parent, the same. Right now, we are having so much pressure when it comes to the economy. We don't have money. There's all these complaints about fuel. But this parent has to choose between having this child in school. We work around menstrual health, having this child buying pads, basically, for this child, having a second meal for this child, or even choosing between this child attending school or not attending school. So no matter how much we put all this pressure on government, but I, coming from the community, I look at it differently. I want to look at it at government level, but I come from the community, whereby if you see a parent reaching to a point where some even sell their kids, I know a child who was actually sold. When a mother reaches that point, it's because she has run out of options. Yeah, it's because she has no other way to turn to. When you see a child, when you see, like what you're saying about a parent leaving out a child, it's because they have no other way to go. Yeah. So it is not about the pressure that we put on government, but it is the pressure also as a community. How do we meet? How do we come together? There are so many NGOs, you know, in Nteere and Kibera, who try as much as they can to advocate for positive parenting. Are they funded enough? So even if we become as an NGO, are we receiving funding to support positive parenting? So we have parent support groups. And in my previous engagement, where I was working with children, with parents of children with disabilities, we formed parent support groups because we knew that this is an area, a space where parents can talk to each other. I'll say that it's important for parents to also come together and speak. And no matter how much, the government is also underfunded. We understand politics. I don't want to go to politics because I'm not a politician. But if we come together as a community, we have a stronger voice. We invite the politicians, they come and they speak and they give us promises. But at the end of the day, who suffers the most? It's the parent, it's the child who goes missing. It's the lack of care that the children receive. Because no matter what, it's the child that we look at. And that's what we stand for as 100% for the children. Yeah.
Yeah, Nancy, looking at the work of 100% and the lived experience of you working also with children with disability, but also bringing these realities in informal settlements, also we have blended family. We have single parents, either it's a mother or a father, and also we have child-aided households, families. As much as we have this system of a government where you have children officer, what are the realities that kids have to navigate in this different relationship, vis-a-vis also the challenges that they experience within the community?
All right. So I'll take this question with the angle of the child-headed household, because I have an experience which I got from the head teacher. And she was basically telling me there's a particular student who is, I think, in one of the higher grades, the junior school. And the boy comes to school at 5:30 every morning. And yet they've already told the boy not to come that early. But the only reason he comes that early is because it's the only place he'll find safety. It's the only place he can study in the morning, because he's raising a young family, which he was left for by the parents. So already we can tell that this is a mental, for him it's also a mental health issue, because he's facing anxiety, he's facing fear. He might also be now more gravitating towards even becoming more mature than he is, not enjoying his childhood, because you're talking of a 14, 13-year-old who is already supporting a whole family by himself. So looking at that, it's important even as a community, because we are looking at schools which are not really protecting children. They are getting the education they need, but are they protecting this child? The second example I wanted to give is for a girl, again, who I won't mention the school, but right now she's 6 months pregnant and she's in grade 9. And the school itself is trying as much as possible to make sure that she sits for her final exam. And because, as you've mentioned, blended family, she comes from a family that has 2 communities. And the father is blaming the mother is blaming the father. And now they've actually now taken the case to the school, where they tell the school, try and get a nanny within the school, because as this child gets a baby, which is expecting the child in August, they will not take care of that child. So this student must come with the child to school every day, have a space for this child the baby, the infant, to stay as this child continues doing her exams, because she's in grade 9. So there are those modalities that go on in, especially this, what I'm talking about is in Kibera. This is just one of the slums. I'm sure there are many more. And the third example I wanted to give is poverty within the homes. So you'll find there's this child who is sent out and taken and being told, when you go to school, come back with something. After school, go and work. So what do? They go to the school and they find what can they sell. So you have cases which are reported in Kibera where a child especially the boy child, they'll always take the seats, they break the seats to get the metal. And when they get that metal, they go with it and they sell it. So they basically throw the metal over the fence. After school, they go pick the metal.
So these are like seeds from the school?
Exactly. So that's the other way they've managed to make money. They sell bulbs. From right now, we have the junior school, which has to have a microscope and everything. So they'll sell all those the things to be in the lab, the bulbs. to make an income, to take home to the mother, who the mother is expecting an income from. So all this is around poverty, and as 100%, we are trying to navigate that. And that is through working with schools, with teachers, to see what is the best way we can engage them, and we can also talk to this child. Because at the end of the day, and that's what brought me to what I'm doing right now, is not writing proposals for children, but writing with them. It's not fighting for justice for the child, but fighting it with them. So what are their challenges? What are they facing, and how can they find the solution? Because we are very good in offering solutions, but we are not so good in getting solutions from them. Yeah.
And you could see like a lot of also institutions currently, they are forming children advisory boards.
Yes.
Girls advisory board, and the question has always been, who's deciding even the resources, because most of the time it's us adults who come and decide for them.
Yes.
Instead of bringing them within the space to be able to say the things they prefer.
Yes.
And how they want it to be done.
And how, yes, because more often than not, we don't listen to them. You'll find a child who is actually even being abused at home. She says it the first time and she's told, oh, you are lying. That's not true. That can't happen. And it's because we never listen to them. You as Mwikali, I'm sure when you're growing up, in very few instances were you listened to, because you are too young to talk.
Not even 100%.
Exactly.
As the organization is so, 100%.
Exactly.
Most of the time you're ignored.
You are ignored.
Yes, and that's why you start even resisting.
Exactly. And that's why when we come now to the child rights, and we are coming back to the topic we started with the trafficking, you'll find the predators, they listen to the child. Because what are they doing? They're trying to learn, what is this child lacking at home that I can provide? The 15-year-old girl who was kidnapping, who managed to kidnap the 2-year-old in Githurai, was promised a phone. So chances are very high, one, she's out of school, and she's been asking maybe for a phone from an adult who never gave, but this person who wanted this child maybe to go and sell was easy. I'll give you a phone, go get me a child. So it's easy because maybe she asked for it, others have it, why not? Why can't I? But nobody listened to her.
Yeah.
So it's very easy for us to have very many cases because we never listen to what this child is saying, and that's what we are trying at 100%, to speak with the child. In Nairobi Primary, for example. Why your mother told you to come back with an income, but why? Can we have the mother in school? Can we talk to the mother? And having this conversation going on. The Ministry of Education will not come and do that. The Ministry of Education is fighting for capitation in the schools because, again, they are looking at the budgets of our schools surviving. But these small social issues, the ministry doesn't look at. It's us as a community who look at.
But from your own perspective, Nancy, shouldn't the ministry be concerned about these issues?
Yes. They should be concerned.
They should, because also they are
concerned.
Not that I'm also throwing the blame to teachers,
yes,
acknowledging that a lot of time also the people who spend more time with children are also teachers in school.
Yes.
So if school should be a safe space for children and to be able to train them to express themselves and also to be active citizens in future,
yes,
why are they not looking, or the ministry not looking holistically some of these needs? Because we have had also ministry issues in this country where we have seen, there's a time I remember we protested when the Ministry of Education were discriminating children based on their gender and sexual orientation. We have had issues in this country where now we are dealing also with the triple threat.
Yes.
That's teenage pregnancy, HIV infection, and GBV, targeting adolescents or young people, where we are having issues in the ministry. They're refusing to have comprehensive sex education for children, where else we are knowing also some of them are sexually active.
Yes.
So how do you navigate around these dynamics where you know clearly the state has a mandate to do this, to ensure these children are protected, are safeguarded, where else they're not playing their mandate?
Exactly. So,
and throwing it to parents.
And throwing it to also NGOs and civil society.
What else we know?
Yes.
Civil society gets small, but the government has the budget.
The government has the budget, yes, Mwikali. But again, we have to look, what is the government's budget for example?
Is it for having all this corruption money? getting lost in people's pockets.
Exactly.
We
But
have
now,
these
and that is why I'm
politicians.
saying I'm coming as a community person. I'm coming as a person
Also, you have a right.
who lives in reality with what
Yes.
is happening on the ground. There's someone I was having a conversation with someone last week, and he was saying this lady or this mama in Kibera, her issue is not that fuel prices are up and talking about the dollar and talking about I don't know what. She doesn't care about that. What she cares is that the price of my units has gone lower. Or rather, my price for buying tokens has gone higher and my units are lower. Basic needs. So no matter how much you want to blame that high-level government up there, we still have a mandate as a community, as a civil society, to see what else can we do. We are licensed to do that. And our work as civil society, as NGOs, is to complement the work of the government. So I am not...
But is it also not okay when also we try to subsidize the government,
Yes.
knowing clearly also that's their mandate and that's their role?
Yes. And you will find more often than not, Mwikali, for me, I have implemented so many projects around education, inclusive education, because I was in the disability space, whereby you'll see the government always coming in to help out. They'll always say, what have you developed as a civil society this? So they come and they complement what you have done. Their work is to complement what we are doing. Our work is to give them accountability of what we are doing, and they themselves being accountable on what they are doing. So it's a win-win situation. So no matter how much we blame, we put blame, but also as a civil society, you know about the politics in civil society. Some take the money and don't do what they promise to do. But again, the ones who are doing work, they're doing work. And that's why I normally don't blame the government so much. That's why I said from the beginning, I'm not getting into politics.
No, this is not politics, to be honest.
But also supporting the government.
Yeah.
But what I know, my experience working with the Ministry of Education, they're very supportive of what we do. When you talk about comprehensive sexual education, they're there, but they always say, give the children information they're able to manage. Because
but how do you
again,
measure this, Nancy?
exactly. And that's why issues come with technology. AI does not measure. AI will not, when that child puts a question on AI, it will not remember this child is a 10-year-old asking this question. It will give the question as it is. Yeah? Technology does not measure. So when a 60-year-old sends a 13-year-old nudes, no, the government is not there to see this sexual information being given is not the right information. So again, comes back to us as a community. And that's why I keep coming back there. The ministry has its role. It does its role. If it's not 100% perfect, now we come in as a community and we support where we can. Yeah?
Okay, Nancy. I have my other comment. I'm trying to look in terms of the whole holistic point of it. Like there's a perspective of, yes, the government should take, but there's the parents, and there's also like a citizen position of government is the first responsibility of the state. So where do we come together?
Where do we come together is by working together, is by governments taking care, being not even taking care, being responsible for what they're supposed to do, taking their mandate. What are they supposed to be doing? Why are they not doing that? And us as citizens questioning that. So there's nothing wrong with us questioning, why are you not doing that? But also, even us, we should also question ourselves, why are we not? What is our role? Are CSOs or civil society accountable to the government? Is the government accountable to CSOs? So at what point do the two meet? So, because the person who hurts most is a child. So at what point do we meet? So also as civil society, as citizens, we should be able to basically create that rapport and see what is happening here. And I will also want to say we have the child line helplines, which are out there. We have the GBV helpline, I think. I hope it works. I'm not sure if it does. I know the child line works. So even as, if the government has rolled out a child line, is it working? Are we responsible for checking it out? Because I've seen whereby children go missing, and even before the police is notified, nobody even knows we have a
even
helpline.
the levels.
Yes.
Sometimes when a child gets lost, they are taken to the police station, and they are put also with suspected criminals.
Yes, exactly.
They are put in colds, not like a safer space for them to be able. So you find even this, like, where also my contradiction with the state is that we're not keen, even as a country, even as Pan-Africans, to ensure that our children are well taken care of.
Exactly.
Not to have traumas as they grow up.
Exactly. So also the government, the centers, they have the child, what are they called? Where they've set up in different police stations. The
Gender desk,
the children
office of protection, but you see sometimes they work parallel.
Yes.
I wish there was a coordination.
Exactly.
Because you can find like a children office, even the way they are situated, they're not situated close even to a police station.
Yes. So
and the coordination, even when you have cases, it's a bit tricky.
It's a bit tricky. So it's just a way of finding the gel. What brings them together? What is the cohesion?
Yeah.
And I think with these cases that are happening, this is the right time. This is when conversations should be happening, not statements being done, because the statements will not save these children.
Yeah.
So we need to have I know we are very good in setting up committees and so forth.
Task force.
And task forces. So at what point should we now come together as a nation and address this issue that is emerging? Because again, this is a cry that needs to be heard. Yeah.
So Nancy, like if you look in terms, I've seen within the human rights space, we have technical working groups, let's say gender technical working group. I've seen climate technical working group. I've seen SRHR, Sexual Reproductive Health and Right Technical Working Group.
Yes.
Is there like a technical group working on children's rights in Kenya?
There is a child
Under
task
which
force.
ministry?
It should be under social protection. It's there. It's there. How active it is, I still don't know, because I know also as 100% we have technical working groups that we are engaged in, which address children's issues. So it's there, it's active, and it's quite active.
Yes, for the government.
For the government, it exists. I just need to find out more about how often it meets, because I know there is one that exists, and they meet often and they talk about issues. But again, that is something that we can always look at and see how far are they taking up this conversation around the missing of children and so forth. Yeah.
Nice. So Nancy, I want now to move like in another thematic area around collaboration.
Yes.
How does positive feminist collaboration or allyship looks like within your sector? I want to feel as Mwikali, as much as I'm a feminist, I'm an activist.
Yes.
Like I'll give you an example. Currently, there's been cases of missing children, which you're aware. And I'm also part of Femicide. And we have been very keen in saying we don't want to speak on behalf of children. We want to be supportive and be allies. But can the parents of the missing children be in the forefront?
Yes.
Or families, so that it doesn't look we are speaking on behalf of them. But to be honest, it has been a bit difficult getting the sector within the children's space.
Yes.
To be able to coordinate. There are organizations like Cradle, but are there many, like 100% that we know clearly they're working on children in informal settlements that we are able to coordinate, because there's a march on 1st in town of June 2026. So in such a way that there's coordination, not looking, this is a women issue, this is a children issue, but looking at it holistically.
Yes. And I think it's very important. And that brings me now to what we've been doing as 100% and with other partners in this space. I talked about safe spaces earlier on. So we already have the 5 established safe spaces. And in these safe spaces, we have activities where we also bring community members on board. We bring parents in that space. We bring experts in that space. And looking at what are the common issues that parents are facing. I'll talk about Kibera because that's where we are most active in. We are yet to get into the other informal settlements. But in Kibera, we also work with teachers. So we have an event that is coming up. It should be end of this month, either this month or early next month, where we are bringing now all the community members, including the safe spaces, where we will now form more of a group and talk more like a partnership and like what you're saying, like a coalition, and talk about these issues. Now, we want this to be child-led, as opposed to us talking and saying this. So the children themselves can talk and say, this is what we have experienced as children. This is what we see. This is the future that we see. And when you say about coalitions, again, we compete with each other unknowingly or knowingly, whereby we are all fighting for funding. We want a piece of this cake. Donor funding has been cut, so I don't want to have coalitions with others. There's that, and you know, the politics around that. But again, if we come in and speak in one voice and we say it's not now about donor funding, it is for the benefit of this child, and that's why I say it should be child-led, because children are they're not biased and they're non-partisan. So looking at how can we work with these children. So that event, and I'm sure it's coming in with children heads. Head teachers will be involved. We have the community, we have the DO, which now the government will be involved. We have the children, we have the safe spaces who experience all these cases. So how can we now have this conversation? It will be a very major event, which I'm also looking forward to, because it's a conversation. So the date has not been set. It was to be held end of this month, but the month is ending. So I'm foreseeing it to be either in the next first week of June or second week of June.
Maybe
so yet to be confirmed.
Because many people maybe might be watching. Could you share maybe where they can get more information or the pages they can follow in case anybody wants to be part of it or support or be associated with the course?
Great. So we are working closely with APDK, with the Association of Physical Disabilities of Kenya. And most of the information that we do as 100% is posted in that site. And also at 100%, you can follow us on LinkedIn. I think it should be put on LinkedIn and our Instagram page.
Yes. Please follow 100%.
For the children.
Yes, Kenya. And then also give more information and share with others. This is for our audience.
Yes.
Yeah, so Nancy, if you look in terms of also you as a child, if you go back to your childhood, what are the good memories that come to your mind of your childhood?
Wow. I would say I was brought up in a middle income settlement. Is it settlement or estate? And I loved the fact that I felt safe. I felt safe because everyone knew me. Anything I do, it will be reported to my mother. My mother was a teacher, is a teacher. Now she's old, but she's still a teacher. So I went to a school where she used to teach. So again, the teachers knew me by name. And I really appreciated that, which is not happening right now. In schools, you'll find teachers are just teaching and they're going home. They don't care because, again, we've removed the punitive of beating and we are very harsh to our teachers. But in that, when I was growing up, that is something I enjoyed doing. I enjoyed the fact that I was not discriminated against because I didn't have school fees. When I was coming, I was with a teacher from one of our high schools, and he was telling me they've sent out, like us, 50% of the students are back home because they don't have school fees. Because again, I won't bring in government. I know you want to talk about government, but the government has basically not given out their capitations. So in the class that he teaches, he's a maths teacher. The class has 60 students. He's only left with 6. So basically 54 students have been sent home. So I was brought up in an era whereby school fees was not an issue. We used to get milk for free at school. Now you can start telling that era. And
we long for that.
Yes, it was pretty easy, and schools books were provided for. So for me, I miss that. And I miss that with this generation who, again, they have so much they're battling with. Something else which I enjoyed, there was no technology. You have to study. You had no AI, you had no distractions like TikTok and so forth. So I was so innocent that we came to learn things much later in life. But right now we have 13-year-olds, 10-year-olds who know so much that even their own parent cannot mute a voice note. They are not able to unmute actually a WhatsApp voice note. But this child is developing content on TikTok, and maybe it's a 10-year-old. So I miss that innocence that I experienced that sadly our children are not experiencing.
So Nancy, as we wrap up, it has been very informative sharing your experience as a child, working in the informal settlement, the challenges you see, how you try to navigate and offer solution with also your organization where you work 100%. So I was asking, if you are today the president of Kenya or the minister of children, I'm creating my own department of children. What would be your top 3 priority investment on children's rights and safeguarding?
Top 3?
Yeah, top 3.
I think my first priority will be creating an environment where children can play.
Yes.
It's missing. our fields have been grabbed.
Yes.
The children have nowhere to play. Chances are very high they play in each other's, in neighbors' compounds, again, giving access to predators.
Yeah.
So I'll give that. I'll give a play space. Number two, of course, education. It's very key. That will be my first priority. My biggest budget, actually, as a president, will go to education.
So
Because
education would be number one.
my education will be number one. Health, it's also equally important.
Yeah.
But if I was to be given top priority, will go to education, because with good education, we have good doctors, then we have, and it all comes down. So education, free education, that involves access to even university. It's very sad that a child, we had cases where grade 9s were not even able to transit to grade 10 because of lack of school fees. So how can we take care of that? And we have broken dreams, so many broken dreams from children who are not able to basically transit. Looking at children with disabilities, we have so many who are out of school just because a school does not have a ramp.
Yeah.
I'm using a wheelchair. I cannot access the school. I cannot access the washrooms. We don't have access to Braille for the children who are visually impaired. So most of them, they depend again to technology, where I can just be read for a book and I'll understand. So education for me, it's very key for this child. And then I think lastly will be to just have them always with me in every budget I make.
Yeah.
Because if I'm making a budget that involves them, why are they not there? Why am I making on their behalf? So what is their greatest need? Where do they feel there's a gap? And I'm not talking about the toddlers, but I'm talking about the children who are able to basically decide. You're talking of 13 years and above, so that even as they go on with their lives, they are assured that they have a future to live for. We are doing all these demonstrations, and these children are feeling, oh, we have mandamano, but some don't even understand what is this all about. So if they were involved and they know how this budget affects their future, then it will be very easy for them to fight for their rights.
Yeah. And I really love what you said about education. Education is equalizer.
Yeah.
And if you see even the GNZ, I think majority of them are also active citizens based on the education they got.
Exactly.
Not like many of millennials or Generation X, but the fact that during that time for Kibaki, education was free.
Yes.
It played a critical role
It did, yes.
in ensuring that everybody gets the right to information.
Yes.
And another perspective that also I feel something that also when you talk about mental wellness, we should be, SDG number 3 is around right to play.
Yes.
Let children be children and let them play.
Exactly.
So I really appreciate you for the work you do and continue doing it. It makes a big difference. And also pass our appreciation to 100% organization.
I will.
Asante.
And we have to live up to our 100%.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right.